When I think of a migration story in my life, it's actually not my own. Cuando pienso en migración, la primera cosa que se me viene a mi mente es mi mamá. Entonces, mi mamá migró a este país en el 1990, 91, and she didn't even know that she was coming here actually. Her grandfather sent her here con una prima, and he just said, go with your cousin, and my mom left with her cousin. They ended up in Tijuana, and then she still didn't know where she was going. And she ended up crossing the border through the desert, wearing heels and a dress. That's when she knew she was coming to the U.S. She said that they walked the desert for many, many days, and they ended up in Los Angeles with family members, and then reunited with my dad, who was already over here. He had already been here for about a year. So that's the first thing that I think of when I think of migration. And then the second thing that I think of is when we lived in California. So I was born in California. Because of the economic situations, we always had to move around so often. We would probably move anywhere between 2 to 3 times during the year because we couldn't live in the same place. Either the people that we rented with had to leave, or they had other people coming in and we had to leave. So we were always moving around, which eventually led us to migrate here to the state of Utah, and that was for me the biggest culture shock culturally and with the language as well, because I went from living in a big city to moving to a very small town where no one spoke Spanish, where I had a very thick accent compared to the rest of my compañeros. So those are the 3 main things that come into my mind when I think of migration.
Mi primera experiencia de migración cuando tenía solamente 4 años y fue de la ciudad del Estado de México a la Ciudad de México. Recuerdo que mi mamá me llevó a mí solamente porque iba ya a hacer el cambio y fuimos en el metro. Fue mi primera experiencia yendo en transporte público, se llama el metro. Recuerdo que mi mamá decidió que comiéramos una torta y creo que un jugo, no recuerdo bien, pero recuerdo a las personas que estaban ahí, que después fueron amigas de toda la vida hasta que nos movimos acá en Estados Unidos, y eso pasó 16 años después, que prácticamente mi papá decidió que fuéramos a vivir a Estados Unidos para reunificar a la familia. Básicamente esa fue la razón por la que migramos a Estados Unidos. Y de la primera migración a la segunda fue menos traumática la primera que la segunda. Fue más traumática la parte de los Estados Unidos porque no conocía a nadie y prácticamente llegó toda la familia de parte de mi papá a saludarnos. Era gente extraña, y en México generalmente la gente grande tú la tienes que respetar, entonces había esa sensación, pero sabíamos que tienes que convivir con ella. Entonces fue la experiencia más rara de toda mi vida. Sin embargo, ha sido también divertida. Igual me ha tocado con mucha gente en todo este tiempo, entonces ha sido entre traumática, entre seguir más bien adaptándome y recordar que hay otras formas de seguir en esta tierra, en las migraciones. Las migraciones. Pues es el natural. Ajá, nunca me había puesto a pensar. Nunca me había puesto a pensar
Es algo que, ajá, como decía, es algo súper natural, es algo que todo el tiempo pasa. Estás moviéndote constantemente de un espacio a otro.
Van a ser viviendo.
Exacto. De un punto A un punto B, o de un punto C a un punto D, siempre es estarte moviendo. No importa si es un espacio pequeño o es un espacio grande. O por un país o de un país a otro, ¿no?
Thank you, Heather. It's very interesting. Aparte de que es un proceso natural de la vida, otros son, bueno, creo que la mayoría de las personas llegan a migrar a un lugar a otro eventualmente. Y muchas de las veces lo que mira entre las tres mucho tiene que ver con familia.
Y las tres venimos de un mismo lugar, Michoacán. Michoacán es uno de los estados con mayor exclusión de migrantes a Estados Unidos y a otros estados. Y generalmente la gente regresa.
Antes así pasaba, pero ahorita ya no pasa tanto.
¿De que regresen?
De que regresen. O sea, como me acuerdo que cuando íbamos, teníamos como 5 años o menos, y todavía me acuerdo de eso. O sea que iba yo a casa de mi tía, la hermana de mi papá, iba a casa de mi tía y ella se iba a visitar a su novio, porque cuando nosotros íbamos, la gente de Michoacán, la gente de Estados Unidos regresaba a Michoacán y se hacían las fiestas grandes. Y ella iba a visitar a su novio, pero su novio trabajaba en Estados Unidos. Y entonces me acuerdo que mi tía me ponía en la barda de donde cuidaban a los toros y ella se ponía a platicar con su novio, pero de lejos, nunca como cerquita. Y le decía ella, ¿cuándo te vas a regresar? Y él le decía a ella, no, pues tengo que juntar más dinero para casarnos. Y le decía ella, sí, pero ¿cuánto va a ser eso? ¿Tú crees que yo voy a ser joven toda la vida?
I have a question. One finish your story. Entonces se considera migración igual aunque vayan a visitar a México. ¿Correcto? ¿Ustedes los miran diferentes ya? ¿Sí? Y ha sido más extremo cada vez que las miran mucho más diferente mientras más tiempo están acá. ¿O es lo mismo desde que regresan una vez y luego regresan otra vez en unos años?
No, porque, o sea, yo creo que el cambio empezó cuando nos movimos del Estado de México a la Ciudad de México. Y aparte no solamente nos movimos a la Ciudad de México, sino que movimos a la ciudad una parte de la Ciudad de México que representa wealth para la Ciudad de México en general. No necesariamente que nosotros fuimos parte de eso, pero entonces siempre, desde ese momento siento que nos empezaron a ver diferente. Y cada vez que regresábamos, como quiera ya teníamos ese estigma de que éramos diferentes. Una vez que nos venimos para Estados Unidos, como que se reafirmó eso de que somos diferentes, pero como pensando siempre que tú te crees más que ellos solamente por eso, aunque ni siquiera digas nada. El hecho de tu persona misma, el ir y estar en contacto, en interacción con ellos, como que para ellos es como un tipo de agresión tal vez, o un tipo de... Así es como yo lo siento, no sé, porque pues de hecho nos dimos cuenta que como hermanas al mismo tiempo la perspectiva que tenemos acerca de la familia es muy diferente por la manera en la que nos tratan. O sea, yo siempre fui vista de una manera diferente a como Homero fue visto. O sea, siempre hubo esa diferencia. Entonces, ella te puede decir.
No, es porque ella era la mayor y tenía la responsabilidad de mi hermana mayor y es luego mi modelo. Entonces, a mí no tengo tanta responsabilidad frente a eso. Y es más, ella se adjudica también acá el mismo poder de prima mayor, que o sea, a mí me pone como alguien importante, pero no es como su perspectiva de ella. No. Porque es más, yo siempre les cuento que cuando llegamos acá, mi primo, uno de los mayores, bueno, no mayores, sino sigue de mí, tiene un problema con las emociones y en lugar de resolver sus papás el problema, le vinieron a decir a que si por favor lo podía ayudar. Es demasiado es demasiado el poder que tiene el primo grande o el hermano grande. Ella es la prima grande y la mayor.
Yo no siento, yo en mi caso no lo veo como una maldición. Porque es como demasiado, o sea, es como demasiado in tus shoulders. And it's something that you don't want to, it's something that you don't need, or something that you don't expect to. You want to be a normal person like everybody else. So you're not going to be seen like that, never. Maybe with your family, like your close family, but not necessarily with the rest of the family. And for example, with my mom's family, because I was I always wanted to explore more. I always wanted to go out. I always wanted to move. That was seen as not good because and as a woman you have to stay in one place. As a woman you have to be from just one place, which is the house or the home, taking care of whatever, right? I wasn't a mom, but I have to take care of my sisters. And when I was older, or when I was growing up, I didn't have children, so I had to take care of my grandma. And I was the person who was seen as a bad person because I wasn't doing that. She was doing that. And so she's glorified because of that. Because she was taking care of my grandma while my mom was here in the United States. And I wasn't doing it. I wasn't even paying attention to it. I wanted to live my life. I wanted to experiment. I wanted to migrate to other places, to other states, and know what was happening there. So sí, that's really interesting.
Pero son que preguntas, por ejemplo, I'm seen differently for being born here when I go back to my family. A bit of a difference between you being born in Mexico, but coming here, but when you go back and visit, I wonder if it's as extreme, or how different, or how similar.
It still depends, I think. Because as I'm saying, it's her experience is totally different from my experience. And it's just, we have 11 months of difference. And their experience is totally different. Like, totally different. Un año y 2 meses. O sea, 15 meses.
De abril y soy de
Okay, so yes, my first time as migration as well, I think it was between 92 to 2005, where we were going every weekend to my grandma's house from the south part of Mexico City to the north side in Mexico State. And I remember that we even went to talk, all of us, because we're 4 in the family, and my mom and my dad, so we were 6 in total, and we were even taking the little birds that I adopted to my house, or the hamster, if the hamster was present. And so it was a very interesting experience because it was that judgment of my family because they have too many kids and they couldn't control them. But in fact, we were like very calm kids. Also, I remember that migration it was always part of our lives. Because we went to Michoacan to visit our grandparents, and we went to Hidalgo, which is a state also nearby Mexico City. And so we went there and we were interacting with other people and with other forms of life. So that was something that was part of us, but it was a shock when we came here to the United States, because then the language was one of the barriers, but we had an idea of what was happening with people who live here who spoke the same language as us. So when I think in migration, I always think back in the day when I was with my familia in Mexico. So I always think in when my mommy and my family went from the south part to the north part of Mexico City, because we live in the south part and my grandma used to live in the north part in Mexico State. And so we were always commuting together as a family, and my mom loved it to do it because in that way we could talk to my grandma and with my cousins and my tia. And so it was a journey. It was a wonderful journey for me because we get to use the metro. And we get to see so many people and so many stories that you didn't know about, and you were just looking. I remember that I was this little kid who was staring at people, and mainly to women. I was staring to women, looking at what they were doing or how they were behaving, and I remember crossing one side of the metro to the other one to change from one place to the other one, and you actually have to walk like 15 minutes to get to the other train to get to my grandma's house. And so it will literally take us like 2 hours to get there. Every weekend was like that until we were like 15 or 17 years old. And then to me it was natural to start to move from not just from Mexico City to Mexico State, but also to other states. To me it was something natural. We went to visit our other abuelos and also my cousins' abuelos, which they were in Michoacan and in Hidalgo. So it was something natural that we were doing every year. And then when I grew up, I started to do the same, but just by myself, going to Guerrero or going to Oaxaca or Chiapas. So always going to the south, never to the north. So then it was a huge, but those were choices that I decided to do. And once we came here to the United States, that was not a choice to take. It was something that you have to do because of a necessity. And so I think that was the first traumatic event. When I talk about migration, or at least in my story, because of the culture, because I didn't know the language, because Utah is a very different state and a very different place in where I grew up. And so it took me 8 years to understand what was happening in my life, or what I was doing here, and also to digest all the culture that I was like just here in the States. But I am so thankful that my family was with me. Definitely. Yeah. That's my story on migration.
Thank you for sharing.